Vast open skies, dark cold universes, and the unknown. Have you ever wondered what the moon is made of or how it was formed? The Sun Devils welcome the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter Camera Visitors Gallery, or the LROC, a new NASA tool for the moon, will be presented by ASU's own David Nelson and Sean Merritt. Hi, I'm Cameron Martz.
And I'm Scott Fosnot.
With another edition of Eye Popping Podcast at Arizona State University in the Hugh Downs School of Human Communication. According to the official LRO website, the foresight for this mission will be to conduct investigations that will prepare for and support future human exploration of the moon. Here are three main measurement objectives. 1. Landing site identification and certification. This will give future mission optimal landing sites for both manned and robotic missions, providing ideas for proposed landing sites. Meter scale mapping of polar regions will give information to our Arizona State Operations Center about information of each polar region when the shadows are minimal, giving NASA the best time for upcoming missions.
What is Arizona State's role in the LROC?
As far as I know, at this point, we are going to be the facility for the LRO camera. So pre-launch, during the nominal mission, that's the first year around the moon, every mission has the opportunity to go going through an extended mission. So as long as that's funded, and this facility is funded, we'll be here for the life of the mission. Now, whether us as individuals stay during the entire time, well, that's problematic because some of the Mars missions have lasted as long as 10 years. And so if this mission lasts as long, the facility could be here, but a number of us might pass through and do other things afterwards.
What is your role in this program?
So as operations personnel, we do everything from when scientists establish regions of interest, we target them. When there are not regions of interest, we set up targets as well. And then also our responsibilities are pretty much facilitating science. So if a scientist needs a specific area in a short amount of time or a specific region targeted in a short amount of time, then we're the people that do it. And we also maintain a close connection with the Mission Operations Center in Goddard. We keep an eye on our camera's health as well, like telemetry, how hot or how cold it is, that sort of thing.
And do you work through ASU or do you work through NASA?
All of us here are employees of Arizona State. So we might be funded indirectly from NASA. That's where the money's ultimately coming from. But we all work here on campus through ASU.
Why is this mission so important to you?
Well, for myself, I'm old enough to remember the Apollo days, so I actually watched some of the missions as they happened back in the early 70s. And so for me, it's really cool to see what we did then compared to how we're doing things now. I mean, the computers that they used would fill a room that we can have available now on a Macintosh computer, for example. Also, the technology, our pictures of the moon are not that great. We have some high-resolution images, but it's not very complete. They're kind of grainy. Believe it or not, the pictures taken of the moon back in the 60s were all done by film emulsion, whereas now everything is digital. So we're going to be seeing much better pictures, much better coverage, and having a much better understanding of the data that come down compared to then. So that's really exciting. And for myself, I've always been interested in planetary science. My master's degree is actually in geology, and I studied a region of Mars. Moon is a little closer to home, though, and so it's interesting to see the object that's closest to us. That's what's most well known to us. So it's exciting, and also being part of something bigger than myself. If we're sending people back in the next 10 or 20 years, I can say that I've been part of that.
Well, I think that there's a couple of things that make going back to the moon more important. I think the first thing is that it's our nearest neighbor, and I think that going there is a big step in us really getting a handle on manned space flight. There's a myriad of possibilities for the moon, including resources and things like that, but also to really give people something that they can see. They could, to actually have them be able to see a man walk on the moon, something like that is going to really kind of revitalize enthusiasm in space exploration in a human context.
What exactly does the LROC camera consist of?
The lroc, as it's known, is actually 3 camera systems. There are 2 high-resolution cameras, and these are capable of taking images where the smallest feature is about a half meter across, so about 40 inches across. That would be 1 pixel. And so the images are going to be about 5 kilometers wide by 25 kilometers long. That's the average picture that is taken by one of these at half a meter. So these are very high-resolution images. And the other was known as the WAC, or wide-angle camera. This takes an image about 100 kilometers on a side and is capable of taking, I believe it's 7 different channels of color information. Those are the three camera systems, and all three of those feed through a fourth component that's not talked about as much. It's the SCS, it's the solid state camera. This is the processor through which all the image information goes through. That's considered part of the camera system. So it's those four components.
When is the scheduled launch, and when can the public be involved in the project?
LRO is going to be launched at this point on April 24th of 2009. We were originally supposed to launch back in October, but a number of delays, the latest of which is because of a potential rocket problem, has caused us to push back a few months. So now we are 6 months behind, but we're still on track for that launch date. Well, at this point, there's really not much for anybody to do. I mean, even us as scientists in mission operations, we're preparing for the mission launch. So we're doing programming, we're getting our data storage facility ready and that sort of thing. But until that really happens, there's not a lot to do either scientifically or for the public to do. There is one program that we have in place that will be available to the public, and that will be for image selection. So, for example, if you guys wanted to take pictures of a certain region of the moon, you would actually submit a request that I want to take a picture of this area. And you could write out why, what's interesting about it, what its location is, and you guys have a chance to actually get the feature that you're interested in.
We want to thank Mr. Nelson and Mr. Mayer for giving us great information on the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, or NASA's Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter Camera. If you'd like to know more information about this project, check it out online at lroc.sese.asu.edu. Thanks for joining us. This is Cameron Martz.
And Scott Fosnot.
Shoot for the moon, and if you miss, at least you will land amongst the stars. This has been another edition of Eye Popping Podcast through Arizona State University and the Hugh Downs School of Human Communication.